Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jemmy and Nye, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML, a managed service provider in Queens, NY, offering network management, voice over IP, unified communications as a service, cybersecurity, compliance, infrastructure as a service, cloud solutions, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you.
Absolutely.
So, we're diving straight into Len Kaplan's recent article. It's titled, "A Risk Assessment on Paper is Not Enough. NYDFS sends another $250,000 warning."
Yeah, that title really says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, imagine you complete your annual IT risk assessment, you check all the required boxes, and you still get hit with a $250,000 fine.
Well, it's brutal.
Right. But that's exactly what happened to this money services business, Order Express. They had this massive ransomware attack in 2022 that encrypted like over half their servers.
Yeah, and that August 2026 settlement against them.
Right.
Just a huge reality check for everyone.
Yeah.
Because regulators are, they're looking right past the paperwork now.
They really are.
Like, Order Express did a risk assessment, sure, but it was purely theoretical. It was just paper compliance.
Right. It's basically like buying one of those protected by security system signs for your front lawn.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
And you just stick it in the dirt, but you never actually bother to install any locks or cameras on your door.
Spot on. You can't just run through a generic, yes or no checklist asking if antivirus is installed.
Yeah, that doesn't cut it anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To be actually compliant, an assessment has to map out specific business processes. You need to locate exactly where the sensitive data lives.
Right.
And identify which third-party vendors actually have access to it in the real world.
So true. And hey, if staring at massive theoretical compliance spreadsheets makes your head spin, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button because you are definitely not alone.
Oh, it's overwhelming, for sure. But relying on a generic assessment is really dangerous. It creates these massive blind spots in your daily operations.
Right, and for Order Express, those blind spots really showed up in their software updates, didn't they?
They did. I mean, they heavily patched their Windows systems, which is great, but they completely missed their web browsers, PDF software, and network edge devices.
Wait, hold on. How does a company with an established IT program just forget about their firewalls and browsers?
Well, because a lot of smaller teams rely entirely on automated Windows updates. They turn the auto updater on, they assume they're covered.
Oh, I see.
And they completely forget that those native tools just ignore third-party apps and network equipment. Missing those updates is exactly how ransomware just, slips right through the cracks.
But practically speaking, I mean, if a busy team doesn't have an accurate inventory of those specific assets, they can't possibly patch them.
Exactly. They can't. That's why an accurate asset inventory is completely non-negotiable. Which actually brings up probably the most misunderstood part of this whole case. Order Express actually had a limited exemption from the NYDFS Part 500 rules because of their size.
Wait, let's pause right there. If the state explicitly gives you an exemption for being a smaller business,
Yeah.
how can they still slap you with a $250,000 fine? That sounds crazy.
I know, it sounds contradictory, but a limited exemption doesn't mean you're exempt from the fundamentals.
Okay, that makes sense. By the way, this is exactly why we drop new breakdowns of these regulatory rules every Tuesday and Thursday, just to help you keep up with all this without the headache.
Exactly. Because those Part 500 rules still demand active MFA, multi-factor authentication across all access points and strict asset tracking.
So limited definitely doesn't mean none. You don't get a free pass just because you're small.
Right.
But knowing the rule is one thing. If you're a small business and you don't have this massive IT department, how do you actually implement this stuff every single day?
Well, translating dense policy into daily practice is the real hurdle. And it's exactly how CDML helps bridge that gap.
Right.
They don't just hand you a thick binder and walk away. They actually find the discrepancies between your officially documented policies and what your living, breathing IT environment actually looks like.
Yeah, so they evaluate your patch management across all your endpoints, not just the Windows ones we talked about, and help implement real-world MFA and access controls.
Exactly. So they function in reality, not just on a checklist.
So if you want to stop guessing about where your blind spots are, you should visit cdml.com to subscribe to the blog and schedule a compliance review for your own business.
Definitely. Because if your policies don't match your daily operations, it's really just a matter of time before a threat or, a regulator finds that gap.
Yeah, that is a scary thought. So I want to leave you with a final question to ponder today. If a regulator walked into your office today, would your official security binder accurately match what your employees are doing on their devices right this second? We're Jemmy and Nye. Thanks for listening. Till next time.